Arknights, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Nikke. I played a lot of different gacha games. I've spent a variety of amounts in all of them. And I'm gonna be honest, one of the most difficult things to come to terms with any game, but I think gachas especially, at least for me, has always been finding a game, finding a community I like, finding aspects of the game I like, but then coming to terms with the fact that it's just not for me. Or maybe having multiple negative experiences that dampen the experience and fun I'm having so much that I want to quit, but every time I do, I'm like, I see the potential. I see something I like, and it makes me want to come back, only to realize that I don't like that thing enough to overshadow the negatives. AK for me is that game. I adore the character designs in this game. As you see here, I like Golden Glow a lot. She's my favorite. Mizuki is right alongside her, wherever he is. He's right here. I like him. He's great. I have characters who I legitimately think have great designs, who I like the voices of, who I like the music regarding. And yeah, Nami is extremely funny. But beyond that, I like the aspect of learning about the characters I enjoy. And AK doesn't really have the relationship storylines of BA, Nikke, and so on. And I understand that it's perfectly fine. But beyond that, it is the concept of what events are they in? Where can I learn about this character? Where could I learn more about their backstory? And yeah, I get that it's included in the game in the system of files, but these files don't count. These files mean nothing to me because I could read about their backstory, but if that was the case, Blue Archive would do the exact same thing. But if they did, people wouldn't care about the characters as much over their relationship stories, the things you experience and have a direct impact with, because it's a very different thing to having a character that you can read about versus one you feel like you can interact with. Speaking bluntly, I feel like AK should allow you to pick multiple assistants that can rotate or that you can swipe between. I have so many assistants here. Options. Yeah, it's a live duty. I like it. It's cool. AFR, great. But I like Golden Glow. I like Mizuki. I have Schwarz's skin. I have Lapland's skin down here. These are characters I enjoy, like the design of, and even the voices of. And I use them a lot sometimes. And when it comes to this, what I legitimately want to do is be able to select multiple, that way I can log in and see one of them. Instead I have to pick, well, who do I like right now? Who do I want to have on my login screen? Because I'm more than likely not going to switch them out. And that's a minor gripe, but it's still there. If you're going through the story, one of the things is the dialogue comes out very, very slowly. If there's anything the game wants you to interact with on screen, this happens a lot of times early on when they're explaining a new mechanic. Anytime text is represented on the screen at the top, and then it's trying to circle or highlight something towards the actual battlefield itself, if you tap that screen, it's just going to skip the dialogue. So if you're trying to see all the dialogue without the wait, you might accidentally skip the dialogue. Otherwise, you have to wait pointlessly for it to slowly trickle out. Like, that adds more suspense. I don't get it. That's just a minor gripe. Once again, minor gripes can add up over time. The banner system. I'm gonna be honest, AK has the worst gacha I've experienced. And I've played multiple, and I can understand people saying, well, from the aspect of, their rate system and the probabilities, it's very nice, it's very generous, it's better than Genshin, it's better than HSR. Cool, great, you can take that. The thing is, I look at a worst case scenario. How can I plan around getting an operator? How can I plan around if I miss this 50-50, if I don't get them in that first poll, or if I don't get them early, what is my worst case scenario? In Genshin and HSR, I always know my worst case scenario is going to be 180 polls, excluding the Stardust and Star Glitter that allows me to grab a character or grab polls back. I always know 180, that's it. Regardless of the banner, we don't have double banners. We don't have kernel systems. We have only singular banners like Typhon here. And even though AK has his focus selection point, which is nice, what about the banners that don't? What about the banners that just don't have that at all? That are still double, where it's like, here's a 50-50, good luck. Or the ones with 4 characters on there. Reverse 1999 has that at the very least. But if I'm looking at, I want a character. First off, the roster of units is so, I don't even have all of them. The roster of units is so bloated that if you want a specific 6-star, you have to either wait ages for them to come back on their banner, pray that they come back at all, or hope you get lucky. Because you won't and are very unlikely to get the ones you want as an off-rater. I don't even like Cesar. He just keeps coming home. I don't want this character. If you're looking at the 6 stars, I wanted Saga. I got everyone but Saga. I got Mountain. I didn't want Mountain. So it's a situation, and Saga was on banner, so I don't want to hear it. It's a situation to where if you have a character you like, you have to save up, or at least feel like a lot of people do have to save up very long periods of time, close to a year, at most a year, to pull the character they want. And on one level, that is fine. On one level, you would do that in most gachas, and it's perfectly fine. But with AK, there's such a wide variety of units, and there's such strong units that it's very difficult to understand that going in. At the same time, you also have limited units, and limited banners work entirely differently from the others, which sucks. So I'm not even gonna get into that headache. You have the minor issues that I think build up for a lot of individuals, which is the farming. If you want to complete a stage over and over again, in BA, in Nikkei, in Reverse 1999, and even HSR, you could just go through and you would click auto deploy, or you would just auto it no matter what. You hit start, auto it, done. In HSR, the benefit is you take so much resin to do each stage that you're only doing it at most maybe 4 times, maybe 5 times a day, unless you refresh, which is a different story. But BA and Nikkei essentially have sweep functions. Reverse 1999 has the exact same thing as Arknights, except you can add a little button over here, which they have, which allows you to select do you want to do it 1 time, 3 times, or 4 times. And you only watch it run once, and you collect the materials and spend the stamina as though you ran it 4, 3, or 2 times, whichever one you selected, which means you're not sitting there watching the game play itself over and over again to get the exact same outcome. AKA, if I want to farm this stage, I gotta click auto deploy and it's gonna run in the background. So we'll have it run in the background here. And mind you, if you don't have the little tickets to something like Annihilation, you're just stuck. Also, side note, AK is the worst gacha to run on BlueStacks. I have no idea why, it just is, and I'm not gonna, it sucks. Considering Nikkei and Reverse 1999 have PC ports, and BA, even though it doesn't have a PC port, is at least more bearable to work with than AK, it sucks, and I hate it. Now, regardless of that, you have this situation in which 5-star units you can love. Let's say you love Blue Poison. She's a bad example in this one, but let's say you love Blue Poison, or Iriscard, or Lionhearts, whatever. You can like these units, but 5 stars are that middle ground between 6 stars and 4 stars. So they have the cost associated with them of a 6-star, almost, but have the damage and the utility of a 4-star because they can't necessarily be as good as a 6-star. And there are very rare cases in which a 5-star is worthwhile to level up. 4 stars are accessible. You get them pretty easily. They get them in nice amounts. They're cheap to build, and you're more than likely going to get potentials on them. 6 stars are the heavy hitters. They're harder to get, but are really good when you do get them, most of the time. And since 5 stars are in that middle ground, you don't get them very often, at least not as often as a 4-star, but they're also as expensive as a 6-star to raise, and not nearly as good. And so if you like a 5-star, good luck. Yes, you can make them work. And making them work is something you can do in any gacha, but it's not an aspect of can I make them work, it's an aspect of is it worthwhile and do I feel like my time, resources, and the investment required to do so is worthwhile? And the option and answer usually is no. I can look at AK and I can see what people like about it. I can have fun with it. I love Golden Glow. I like these characters, but when my enjoyment and the knowledge I have of the game has to come from external sources, it feels bad. Because I want to sit down and read the story. But when the story feels like it's bloating itself unnecessarily, I don't care. And so AK is a perfect example for me of a gacha that I want to love, but can't and continue to do so because I hate it. I don't like sitting down and playing AK because the times I enjoy the game are when I'm actively straining and trying to complete a new stage. It's a struggle to achieve a better point in the game so that I can farm more resources so I can get my characters up. But the characters I do get up, even though I like them, I don't get to experience anything new regarding them. I don't get a relationship storyline. I can go to an event, which is nice, and I can read the event, but I gotta read through 5 paragraphs that didn't need to be there because it could have been summed up in 3 sentences. And that sucks. I can read the operator files, but in that case, I might as well just go to GamePress and read them anyway. And I know people who like Arknights are going to say, you know, it's still a great game. And I do agree with you. It is a great game. It is fun if you can find the enjoyment within it, but also the Arknights community has like a vague sense of elitism that they really don't deserve to have in the first place. It's like the Honkai Impact 3rd community. Hey, your game isn't perfect, but that's a different story for another video. Either way, I like this game. I want to play more of it, but I probably won't. And I just wanted to make a video on this because, yeah, it's a good game. It has a lot of potential. It has a lot of nice aspects, and I'm excited for Enfield, but I just don't know if I could continue playing AK knowing that I'm going to eventually get frustrated with all these little things that add up time and time again to make me hate it. But tell me your thoughts down below. Either way, hope you enjoyed this rant, and I'll see you next time.